reason why I'm showing you this one is because this is going to help you shut down your employer when he's trying to steal your money out your check. Say he's got. Well, this is the employee's account numbers. If you guessed it, that it's your social security number is an account number. That's what this is talking. This is what this is talking about. And let me go and read it. I'm going to read through this. I might skip a few sections. Try to cover what applies to most people. So here we go. 26 CFR 31.6011B-2 employees account numbers. Requirement of application in general. I'm skipping number 1 because that's before 1962 and may not apply to most people right now. But here we go. 2. On or after November 1st, 1962, every employee who on any day after October 31st, 1962 is in employment for wages which are subject to the taxes imposed by the Federal Insurance Contribution Act, or which are subject to the withholding of income tax from wages under Section 3402, but who prior to such day has neither secured an account number nor made application, therefore shall make an application on Form SS5 for an account number. So what's an account? Yeah, they call it an account number. And they also said Federal Insurance Contribution Act. That's FICA. That's that person. Mute your mic, everyone. I know what I'm gonna do. I will do it. All right, y'all can mute your mic. Thank you. So, got it. All right, sorry about that. All right, let's look at what Wikipedia says about the Federal Insurance Act. It says the Federal Insurance Contribution Act is a United States federal payroll or employment contribution directed towards both employees and employers to fund Social Security and Medicare. Federal programs that provide benefits for retirees, people with disabilities, and children of deceased workers. So FICA is for retirement, people with disabilities, and children of deceased workers. Okay, so it's not just for retirement. So you might know someone, or you might have someone in your home that is disabled, and that's what that money is funding, right? And they said it's a contribution. So what's the definition of a contribution? Okay, because when I think of contribution, it's a gift or payment to common fund or collection. Donation, here's the synonyms. Is my screen big enough? I'll make it a little bigger. Donation, gift, offering, present, handout, grant, subsidy, allowance, endowment, subscription, benefaction. So by their definition, that FICA is a gift. You're giving a gift to this FICA fund. And it's not mandatory, as they may say. You have to give up this money. You have to give away this money. Like your employer would say, and so many people with street logic would say, because the only knowledge they got is what somebody told them. Like most people on this planet, their knowledge is hearsay. So that's a contribution. Let's go back. 3, method of application. The application shall be prepared in accordance with the form, instruction, regulations applicable thereto, and shall set forth fully and clearly the data therein called for. The employee shall file the application with the District Office of Social Security Administration, or if the employee is not working within the United States, with the District Office of Social Security Administration at Baltimore, Maryland. Form SS5 may be obtained from any district office of the Social Security Administration or from any district director. An account number will be assigned to the employee for the Social Security Administration in due course upon the basis of information reported on the application required under this section. A card showing the name and account number of the employee to whom an account number has been assigned will be furnished to the employee by the Social Security Administration. So let's break this paragraph down. This sheds a lot of light on what's going on. First of all, the only time you're supposed to even get a Social Security card is when you're getting ready to go to work, because they're telling you to apply for it. When you're, going for a job, that's when you need it. And it's needed for the FICA fund if you want to give that money to FICA. So basically, if you're reading this correctly, they're saying you really don't need a Social Security card or an account number unless you're ready to give away some money. Yeah, FICA is on everybody's check, Marco. All right. FICA's been robbing y'all. Time for filing Form SS5. The application shall be filed on or before the 7th day after the occurrence of the first day of employment. It's telling you when to fill out an SS5 form. But yet, SS5 forms are filled out for children, babies. Okay. Reference made in paragraph A1 of this section. Unless the employee leaves the employer of his employer before such 7th day, in which case the application shall be filed on or before the date on which the employee leaves the employee of his employer. So it's telling you, if you're going to get a job and you want to give some money away, it needs to be done on or before the 7th day on that job. The first job you get. That's when you go get an account number. That makes sense, right? When you turn of age to go get your own account numbers, you go to the bank, you open up your own account when you're ready to put money in it. Right? 3, changes and correction. Any employee may have his account number changed at any time by applying to a district office of the Social Security Administration and showing good reason for a change. With that exception, only one account number will be assigned to an employee. Any employee whose name is changed by marriage or otherwise, or who has stated incorrect information on Form SS5 should report such change or correction to a district office of the Social Security Administration. Copies of the form for making such reports may be obtained from any district office of the administration. So, we have been misled that we need, even when you look at the 1040 and doing a tax return and you have children, they're not even supposed to have an account number yet. But they're wanting to. I think it's if they're over 2 years old, 1 or 2, you have to have a social to put on there to claim them as a dependent, or they won't give it to you. Okay. Duties of employee with respect to his account number. 1. Information to be furnished to employee. An employee shall, on the day on which he enters the employer of an employer for wages, comply with provisions of paragraph B1, 1, 2, 3, or 4 of this section, except that if the employee's services for the employer consist solely of agricultural labor, domestic service in a private home of the employer, not on a farm operated for profit, or service not in the course of the employee's trade or business. The employee shall comply with such provision on the first day on which wages are paid to him by such employer, within the meaning of section 31.3, I suggest you guys go and read whenever they refer to a code, go read it. All right, I'm not going to read it because for the sake of time. Because as you can see, these codes are extensive, and a lot of times you have to read it several times to really pick it up. Okay, now Employee who has an account number card. If the employee has been issued an account number card by the Social Security Administration and this has the card available, the employee shall show it to the employer. Employee who has a number but card not available. If the employee does not have available the account number card issued to him by the Social Security Administration but knows what his account number is and what his name is, exactly as shown on such card, the employee shall advise the employer of such number and name. Care must be exercised that the employee is correctly advised of such number and name. Employee who has receipt acknowledging application. If the employee does not have an account number card but has available a receipt issued to him by an Office of Social Security Administration acknowledging that an application for an account number has been received, the employee shall show such receipt to the employer. Okay, number 4, employee who is unable to furnish number or receipt. Listen closely. If an employee is unable to comply with the requirement of paragraph B1, 1, 2, or 3 of this section, the employee shall furnish to the employer a statement in writing signed by the employee, setting forth the date of the statement, the employee's full name, present address, date and place of birth, father's full name, mother's full name before marriage, and employee's sex, including a statement as to whether the employee has previously filed an application on Form SS5 and, if so, the date and place of such filing. The information required by this subdivision shall be furnished on Form SS5 if a copy of Form SS5 is available. The furnishing such a Form SS5 or other statement, keep in mind they keep saying other statement, by the employee to the employer does not relieve the employee of his obligation to make an application on Form SS5 and file it with District Office of Social Security Administration as required by paragraph A of this section. The foregoing provisions of this subdivision are not applicable to an employee engaged exclusively in the performance of domestic service in the private home of his employer, not on a farm operated for profit, or in the performance of agricultural labor. If the services are performed for an employer other than an employer required to file returns of taxes imposed by Federal Insurance Contributions Act with the Office of the United States Internal Revenue Service in Puerto Rico, however, such employee shall advise the employer of his full name and present address. Now, they just showed you that the United States Internal Revenue Service is in where? Puerto Rico. It just showed you that. So, all right. I wanted y'all to pay attention to other statements. So you can give your employer a statement as to why you don't have an account number, aka Social Security number. I could actually draft up a template to help y'all, but there's always going to be one person that's going to not follow directions and lose their job, and they're going to blame it on me. So I'm not touching that. Okay? So there you go. What I suggest, go back and read this over and over and create you a template for yourself. So that you can stop these contributions coming out of your check. All right. So, if you've already signed the contract with these people, you know what? Let's take questions before I go on, because people are right. So, what if I've already have my info? I don't understand what you're saying, Marco.
Hey, peace, Aki. So this is for people that are like maybe starting a new job and they don't have your Social Security number or anything like that.
You're going into a new job. You're going into a new employment. Pretty much. So this one already in the job. They got your information. You already signed some contracts. I'm going to go over the W-4 form. So anyway, that you've already filled out. You know, I've done several shows on it, but still people are confused. But I'm going to go over it and show you how even that W-4 form that you already did is not correct. It's not complete. So you can undo that. You know, it tells you there When we get there, we'll talk about that. All right, anybody else got a question? Anybody else? Before I move on, keep going. We got some more to read. All right, okay. 3, furnishing of where was I? That was okay. Additional information to be furnished by employee to employer. Every employee who, on the day on which he is required to comply with paragraph B1, 2, 3, and 4 of this section has an account number card, but for any reason does not show such card to employer on such day shall promptly thereafter show the card to the employer. An employee who does not have an account number card on such day shall, upon receipt of an account number card from the Social Security Administration, promptly show such card to the employer. If he is still in the employ of that employer, if the employee has left the employ of the employer with the employee receives an account number card from the Social Security Administration, he shall promptly advise the employer of his account number and name exactly as shown on such card. Account number originally assigned to an employee. This is basically telling you, you have to show them that card or tell them what the number is, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to keep reading because we're going to bust that wide open because they're making it like it's mandatory. And I noticed they're not saying Social Security number as we know it to be. They're using it, they keep saying account number card. So that is not a Social Security card. It's an account number card. We've only called it a Social Security card because we have been programmed to believe that. That's it. All right. Let's keep going. I'm going to skip down to okay, let's go to 3. Account number unknown, return is filed. In any case in which the employee's account number is for any reason unknown to the employer at the time of the employee's return is filed, for any return period with respect to which the employer is required to report the wages paid to such employee. Let's read it. If employee has shown receipt for application, if the employee has shown to the employer as provided in paragraph B13 of this section, a receipt issued to him by the Office of Social Security Administration acknowledging that an application for an account number has been received from the employer shall enter on the return with the entry with respect to the employee, the name and address of the employee exactly as shown on the receipt, the expiration date of the receipt, and the address of the issuing office. So he could just show his receipt if he goes get his account number. If employee furnished form SS5 or statement, see they keep saying statement. If the employee has furnished information to the employer as provided in paragraph B1, 4 of this section, the employer shall prepare a copy of the form SS5 or statement furnished by the employee and attach a copy to the return. So what it's saying is you could just give them a statement. And that statement could say, I'm not responsible for U.S. tax returns. I'm not responsible for contributing to FICA. And it could be for religious reasons. See, they keep saying or statement. But see, they're not elaborating on what kind of statement. They're not giving you details on what the statement you can say. So that's subject to interpretation. So they can't penalize you for writing a statement out
Peace. What's up? It is September the 9th, 9 days already into the month of September 2025. I hope everybody's doing it good this evening. All right. So I'm going to put this link in the chat. For those of you who are in my membership already, this is not for you. This link is not for you. Let me find what I want to share. Because you will get a separate link. So this link you're gonna that I'm sending is for the people that's not part of the membership to take advantage of this platform that I'm transitioning to. Oh, let me do that on there for some reason. There you go. On Skool, SKOOL. I've uploaded a lot of content already to there. I'm gonna be doing live chats on that platform at least once or twice a week. So get the word out. So anybody that's not signed up, the monthly membership is $39.99. Right now, it's gonna go up. So once I get everything in there, it's gonna go up. The only reason why it's $39.99 right now is because it's got good information in there, but it's not complete. So get in on that early bird special. Because once I get all the 1099 discharge stuff in there, it's just going up. And it's going to be higher than what my current members are paying right now. So, you know, I was on TikTok just looking around, and then this video popped up on my For You page. And I'm going to show you this video. Let me know if the music is too loud. I can't really tell. Somebody let me know. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going. So it's this guy talking about he's selling a passport process. And he was talking about making you a U.S. national or a national of the United States. I would think this would be a no-brainer because the word... Said my voice is low. All right, I'll turn it up. How about that? Why is my mic? All right, how's that? That should be better. All right, that should be a lot better. Let me know, how's my voice now? So I don't know how many times I've told people, if the United States is in the title, national of the United States national, U.S. national, that means you're a U.S. citizen. So I'm going to play the video. For you. I'm going to play it. This is the video. I want my how do I get my bring my camera back? Give me a second, I'll play it in a second. Oh, there it is. All right, I want y'all to see my reaction. All right, so let's play it. Oh.
That I share in Born of Blood, Bound by Paper. of how I obtained my passport as a U.S. national is a lawful administrative process carried out through the U.S. Department of State, using their own forms and procedures. The passport itself, besides being a national and international travel document, is federal recognition of my status as a U.S. national.
I agree with that part.
The process did not involve trick paperwork or some secret loopholes. It uses existing law, the nationality statutes, and passport regulations already on the books. The result is a passport documented and issued by the government itself, which is the highest form of identification available to U.S. nationals.
U.S. nationals.
A 14th Amendment citizen can also obtain a passport, as you know. However, they are treated as federal subjects under statutory jurisdiction, more commonly known as state revised statutes. On the other hand, a U.S. national or non-citizen national stands with organic constitutional protections and common law jurisdiction.
He made that up.
This distinction matters greatly because it restores rights to the U.S. national that would otherwise get waived under 14th Amendment federal citizenship presumptions. Like they presume that you black. Travel is a protected constitution.
All right. I have to stop it right there. There's so much erroneous stuff he's saying in this video. U.S. national, and he's emphasizing that. Now, I'm going to show you the comment. That's me, Infinite Abundance. I said a U.S. national is a U.S. citizen as it is stated in the statutes. LOL. And then I said, show me where it says what you said. He replied to me, and I don't see that reply. Hang on, let me see if I can find it, because he must have deleted it. Because this came after my reply. This part right here came after he said, no, it's not. What I said up here wasn't true. And he said, I said, show me where it says what you said. It does not say USA. Because in his comment, so he took the comment out. In his rebuttal to me, he says, national of the USA. And that's why I said, show me where it says what you said. It does not say USA. It says US. That's two different jurisdictions, but I can be corrected. Show where you got that definition from. Then this is how he responds. A mind bent towards inclination will be bent still. So no matter what evidence I present you, you will only revere to another argument. I am not here to argue. I am here to build, and I can't build with someone seeking to argue from their own limited scope. I got a limited scope. Yeah, I got a limited scope because I know it's not U.S. citizenship. Then I said, you know me, I'm going to quote it. I'm going to bring receipts. This is a quote. Section 101A 22 of the INA provides that the term national of the United States includes all U.S. citizens as well as persons who, though not citizens of the United States, owe permanent allegiance to the United States, non-citizen nationals. He did mention that up. He said non-citizen nationals have this special non-14th Amendment status. Then I left a link in the next one. Then I responded, limited. I showed you the link and quoted it. That's your response. I also stated I can be corrected if further evidence was shown. I don't have to argue. I'm deep in this subject for 10 years. United States nationals are U.S. citizens. So he didn't even respond after that. But he took his response to my first comment out because he quoted that wrong. Because it don't say USA nowhere in the statutes. You show me a statute that says USA in it. Only time you see USA is in the Articles of Confederation. Whenever they talking about those statutes, who created it? The federal government. Congress created that legislation. So they always only when a corporation is writing its statutes, its rules, it's writing those rules for its benefit. So that's why you will always say, see, for the most part, U.S. everywhere, United States, because it's writing its rules. The expression of the trust for the United States in Congress and symbol. I don't know why this popped up. The expressions for the trust of the Congress, United States in Congress assembled, is those codes. And you must understand what you're saying. That book he's charging $99 for. That mind. I'm gonna see when I see that now, I gotta give him props. He got a video, nice sound of videos, it's catchy. I'll emulate that part, but the teaching part. See, this is why I gotta step up my game. I gotta do a video and break this stuff down like that and have a book. See, me, I can show you receipts. I can show you from the law. Like right now, I'm going to show you that. So let's start here. Certificates of non-citizen nationality. I always start here, but see, this section right here that I'm showing you comes from the actual code that I'm going to read. There's the code. That's the code. That's the full code under Title 8, USC 8, 1101, definitions. Then you got to go down to way down to, I think I skipped it. Here. And then it's going to break all this down. But this, and here's the other code for it. 1408, nationals but not citizens of the United States of birth. But this is from the Department of State's website. Can't go get no better than that. Yes, yeah, you can by going here. This is better because this actually reads the code in its entirety. Over here is a summation of it. But let's read it. And I've done this many a time, but I'm just going to read it. Because if my memory served me correct, shoot. I'm gonna reinforce this. Let's go back to the video, to the very beginning.
The method that I share in Born of Blood, Bound by Paper, of how I obtained my passport as a U.S. national is a lawful administrative process.
As a U.S. national. That's what he said. Did I say that? Or did he say that? Yes. All these people that I believe he's agent. Like somebody said, he's an agent. He's an agent. This is how to keep you in the system. Exactly. Because when he first responded to me, he said, are you you becoming a U.S. national of United States of America, which is an oxymoron. You're saying two different things. You're saying U.S., which means United States national, and then you put United States of America. You can't be a U.S. national of United States of America. Can't be. It can't be. All right. So let's read this. Certificates of non-citizen nationality. The Department of State occasionally receives requests for certificates of non-citizen national status pursuant to Section 341B of the Immigration and Nationality Act, INA 8 USC 1452B. Y'all already know I went into all of this stuff here. I went and read thoroughly, back and forth. As some of you know, I was part of another group or associated with another individual that thought he knew what the fuck he was talking about, and he didn't know shit. He didn't know anything. And I figured that out. And that's part of the reason why we stopped working together. This is the reason why I stopped working with them. Not because I decided to stop. They stopped working with me. They cut me off. I was like, okay, this is the information. Then, I woke up, there was a whole new site made and everything, the whole new channel, went on Facebook and all of that and announced his separation. Why? Because he had to get in front of things because he knew he was lying. Some of y'all know the story. Know it firsthand. The whole reason why they stopped working with me, because they were pissed that I was bringing the truth and not deception. So when the brother put on a limited scope, I said, brother, my scope was limited with hanging out with people who was telling me stuff what to believe. And then when I went and researched it myself, I found differently. And people have successfully been getting their passport this way. And in my group, we had such a small group and today that I didn't reveal something that I want to reveal. That I had some success in with my daughter in school and stuff like that. But, I ain't talking about it on this airways like this. We got to go back and get what's ours. All right, here we go. As defined by the INA, all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, but only a relatively small number of persons acquired U.S. nationality without becoming U.S. citizens. Now, what did it say right there? It says, as defined by the INA, all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, but only a relatively small number of persons acquire U.S. nationality without becoming U.S. citizens. Let me go to the chat. And somebody, did I read that wrong? Am I reading that wrong? Am I reading it wrong? Let's go back to the beginning.
The method that I share in Born of Blood, Bound by Paper, of how I obtained my passport as a U.S. national is a lawful.
This says all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals. That's what it says. But only a small number of persons acquire U.S. nationality without becoming U.S. citizen. Section 101A, 21 of the INA, term national as a person owning a permanent allegiance to a state. Section 101A, 22 of the INA provides that the term national of the United States includes all U.S. citizens as well as persons who though not citizens of the United States, owe permanent allegiance to the United States, non-citizen national. Let's go back to the video. Let's go back to this. Let's go back.
Administrative process carried out through the U.S. Department of State using their own forms and procedures. The passport itself, besides being a national and international travel document, is federal recognition of my status as a U.S. national. The process did not involve trick paperwork or some secret loopholes. It uses existing law, the nationality statutes, and passport regulations already on the books. The result is a passport documented and issued by the government itself, which is the highest form of identification available to U.S. nationals.
Sound like something I've been telling you.
A 14th Amendment citizen can also obtain a passport, as you know. However, they are treated as federal subjects under statutory jurisdiction, more commonly known as state revised statutes. On the other hand, a U.S. national or non-citizen national stands with organic constitutional protections and
All right. She said non-citizen national. What does that say? Non-citizens nationals owe permanent allegiance to who? 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 Let me pull something else up. Let's do this. 14th. And I'm going to show you something in this 14th Amendment part. We all know what the first part is talking about, right? We all know that. But Section 5 is a crucial part of this article, this amendment. It says the Congress shall have power to enforce by appropriate legislation the provisions of this article. So if you are, as he's saying, as he's putting it, any one of these, they have power and jurisdiction over you. They have power and jurisdiction over you under these titles. But here's the thing that this is the part most people overlook. It's this little section right here. Section 21 says a national is a person on permanent allegiance to a state. Now, this is very confusing to a lot of people because, like, they state, so they start thinking Alabama, all of these things, these different states, and then that's where you come up with state national. That's the thinking of some people. There's people that do state nationality or the state national process through the passport, and they get a passport doing that. And I'm not saying they get one that way. You have to remember, they will allow you to get a passport the way as long as you follow directions, you will be able to get a passport. But now how you get it and what status you claim is very important. Because when I do this new passport application, we claim in the highest status possible. Of course, I do my religion and all of that stuff, but we going, I've been holding out because the way I taught you is good. It works, and it's been keeping you guys where you need to be. It's been keeping y'all right. Don't get mad because I've been holding out. I haven't even done it for myself yet because my passport's about to expire. It'll be almost 10 years next year. So I'm going to be renewing my passport this year. Although it expires in a year. I haven't even done it for myself. But we going for the full status. But we'll be talking about it in that new private group that I created in my in my premium group. We'll be talking about that. But this right here, section 101A 21 of the INA defines the term national as a person on permanent allegiance to a state. Do you notice how state is lowercase? Lowercase? This is going to be an internet search. I could go get my other books. And here's all of the particular condition that someone or something is in a specific time. State of affairs, shape, condition. That's what the word could mean. A nation or territory considered country, nation, land, nation, state. Now here's the thing, that word state in this, since they don't even define that in the code. They define state, but the state they define has a capital S on it. So they're not talking about the same state. Let's go to the actual where all of this comes from. All of the stuff that I read from the Department of State, this is where these definitions are pulled from. Right? Here it is. The term national means a permanent person owing allegiance. There it is. To a state. The term national of the United States. National of the United States means A, citizen of the United States, or B, a person who, though not citizen of the United States, owes permanent allegiance to the United States. So if you do his process, you will be claiming permanent allegiance to the United States. That means you are part of the system. You are their subject. Everything he's saying that you won't be, you will be, based on what he's saying. That's just two definitions right there. Let's see if I can find state. They have foreign state. Includes outline possession of foreign state, but self-governing dominions or territories under mandate or trusteeship shall be regarded as separate foreign state. Let's look for the word state. Let's see if it's in here. You telling me that a national owes permanent allegiance to a state, then we should find a way to define it. And you notice right here it says Secretary of State. The S is capitalized. Why? Because that's the Secretary of State of the United States. Right? Let's look for this word state. Keep going. It's not there. 16. National. They're defining all of that. Let's get it. Let's see if it's there. 15. 28. Oh, it's there. Look. Do you see how it's... The term state includes the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, the Virgin Islands of the United States, and the Commonwealth. So all United States territory, that's what it means. Includes. That's all it includes. It doesn't mean the other states. But you notice they only define state in its upper and lower case. They don't define it as how it is stated here. It is omitted. Now, when I gave you the definition of state, a particular condition that someone or something is in at a specific time. That's the key. That's the key. What is your status? State is another way of saying your status. So when we create the affidavits or the explanatory, we are making clear what our state is, our status is. Y'all getting this? They didn't see what most people will do is they'll see that definition and incorporate it with section 21 and say that means the same thing. No, it is. It's permanent. Owes a permanent allegiance to a state, to a status. See, they're real crafty in how they define stuff. That is not the same thing. Because look, anywhere you see state, they have it all capped. I'm not all capped. They have a capital S. Anywhere else, that's the only place that they list. They say state and it's lowercase, meaning that is a different thing that they're talking about. Has nothing to do with that definition I read below. Nothing. This is why paying attention is important. Then even in the term United States, except as otherwise specifically herein provided, when used in a geographical sense, means the continental United States, Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, the Virgin Islands of the United States, and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Why do they say continental United States? How come they just don't say the 50 states like in other parts? When they do the educational, where they're giving out endowments to schools, they say United States mean the 50 states and all of these other ones. Y'all think that's not done? That somebody made a mistake? No, they don't make mistakes. They have people proofreading this stuff. And then look at they have passport definition. Means any travel document issued by a competent authority showing the bearer's origin, identity, and nationality, if any, if they have a nationality, which is valid for the mission of the bearer into a foreign country. Permanent. The term permanent means a relationship of continual lasting as distinguished from temporary. But a relationship may be permanent even though it is one that may be dissolved eventually at the instance either of the United States or of the individual in accordance with law. Did y'all see that? Up there was saying they had permanent allegiance. If you call yourself, you saying you have permanent allegiance to the United States, but they're saying permanent means a relationship of continual lasting nature. So if you're calling yourself, you have a relationship. But it can be dissolved eventually at the instance either of the United States or of the individual in accordance with law. You can dissolve that, which we have been doing. Remember, I told you never was a United States citizen. You was always a national. The problem was you assumed that position because those are the options they left you in the application to fill out. So you went with what you call herd mentality. You went with the crowd. What the crowd does, you do. All right. How am I doing so far? Right. Exactly. State of being. State of status. State of being. Exactly. And this is why a lot of people miss it. And this is why he's probably talking like that. For my, based on what he's saying, he took somebody's other information and put that together. Because there's no way he read this unless you have poor comprehension and got that came out with that conclusion. Because it's very clear. Tell me in the chat, am I missing something? Because you're reading, I'm showing you the rules. Just like I asked him, show me what you're talking about. Maybe I got something wrong. He wouldn't show me. And he deleted his comment. Because he said a U.S. national is a national of the USA. I was like, I know. Ain't nowhere in that code that say anything about the USA. Because that would be a big reveal. When you read this thing as many times as I've read it. So, new passport process is coming. I've been telling y'all years I had stuff, but there was no need for me to do anything because it was working as is. But just to give y'all a hint, it has, if you have been paying attention to social media, people from across all ethnic backgrounds have coming out and letting y'all know that we are the original people. This is our land. And they've been showing receipts. They've been showing receipts. See, y'all didn't understand when Trump was saying, if y'all were with hindsight from the beginning, there was a clip we used to play of Trump when he was trying to get his casino license. And Trump was upset that they were only giving it to what they called Native Americans. And it was like, you giving it, and he told the Congress, hey, you guys are being racist because you are designating these licenses only for a certain group of people. That's racism. You saying I can't get it, but they can get it because they're this, because they have a monopoly on it because they're Native Americans. Now, people who are Native American sympathize, oh, he's being racist, he's being racist. No, but the rule itself is racist. Anytime you create something and only a certain group of people can get it, that's really against the Constitution, saying that people are supposed to have equal rights to things. Constitution and the civil rights laws. But in there, he also said, no, you guys are being racist. Those people are not Indians. That's what got them saying, how you going to be able to tell people that they're not who they say they are? You're being racist. That's what they said. He said they're not Indians. And then he comes into office and he's dealing with the birthright citizenship thing. What do you think he's going after? All these people fake calling themselves American Indians. Because the reason why they created the 14th Amendment was for that. To separate the originals from, because okay, let's go to the 14th Amendment. Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state where they reside. So with this dude's process, he's teaching you how to naturalize into the United States. It's like you're on the top floor and it's a fire and you're trying to get out and somebody take you to a window from the top floor and say, jump out. Yeah, you escaped the fire, but you jumped to your death. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Now, Section 2, pay attention. Representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed, showing that the Indians were a separate jurisdiction. They're not to be a part of that. Only taxpayers could be part of this. And what the 14th Amendment did have people running to be a 14th Amendment citizen, took them out of their natural status. It was excluded. So when people talk about reparations, we had it the whole time. But when we got designated black, colored, and all these other designations, and let me add to this: all these countries, Dominican Republic, all the Caribbean islands, where they call themselves Jamaican. Let me give you all the truth. That's not their true name. Guess what? That's on par with being called a United States citizen. Oh, y'all, no one ever told y'all that, right? See, I got the privilege to see how all of those groups of people, that title is a front for what that really means. Y'all want to know what it really means when you call yourself a Dominican and all these other things, and Jamaican and all of that? Y'all want to know? Afro-American. I saw it with my own eyes. And one day I'll show you the proof. So here it's in our face, African American, and was promoted to. But behind the scenes, those people that's calling themselves these other groups, Jamaican, West Indian, those are front titles. But in the system, behind it, there's another designation, Afro-American. It's all part of the Afro-American groups. Which means is they paper genocided them people just as well. Made them, I'm Jamaican, I'm Dominican, and gave them their proudness of it. And meanwhile, they were dancing in their culture, being so proud. But in the behind the scenes, the power structure was laughing. We got them too. Because all of those people are the same as what we are over here, the originals. So they love it when you proud to be this and proud to be that, because it distracts you from the setup, how they stole your heritage, your true title of nobility. Hold on. Your true title of nobility. Every one of those Puerto Rican, all of those things are misdirection. All of it is misdirection. Many thousands of years wasn't none of those things. Those are all created names. But we've been so indoctrinated in part of it, we just accepted it. And we got, oh, those are the Jamaican people, those are the Dominican people, those are the Cuban people, the Colombians, the all Panamanian, all of these. We love to delineate and separate. That's we all one big family that are the originals. One big. And when I saw that document, how it said Dominican, and then right next to it, it said Afro-American, meaning that Dominican and all these other titles is a front to what they really, those titles are nicknames to what they really got you classified as, that you never see. But it's in their systems. They all created names. All of them. All of it. I've been saying for a few years now, or maybe more, that I've been holding out on y'all. I told you I was going to wait till all of these people come out and try to teach and teach and teach and try to show y'all the path forward. I said, wait, just be patient. Now's the time to really drop it like it's hot. I've been sitting on this for a long time. I've been in stagnant. I wouldn't even say stagnant, just been in hold. I've been in a holding pattern. Just waiting and waiting and waiting. Let everybody punch themselves out. Think they got it. But they don't. Yeah, you'll get your passport with these other processes. You'll get it. But you won't get the results like you won't. There's certain things that happen when you do it the way I teach you. All right. Let's see. Bolden says facts. So y'all better be. I hope y'all ready for this new one. This new. You know, the process is basically the same on how you get it, but the whole dynamic of the explanatory statement. It's going to be different. Now, anybody got any questions? Like, are you in doubt over what I said about this U.S. national thing? Anybody? So who's out there? Let me just give shouts out. Ronnie Davis is out there. Peace to you, brother. Jason Gunn is out there. Bolden, hand clap. Peace and blessings, my God. OG Big. That's the link to school. If you're not part of my private membership, go ahead and get into that. There's going to be a lot of free content in there. Somebody said he was an agent. I agree. USA National. Yeah. Someone said, that's how I met you. Someone selling your information as their own. They do it all the time. All U.S. national, U.S. citizen, that's being defined. But that's exactly. That's what tell me when I could tell he didn't read that. And when I popped that out, for one thing, a lot of people don't even know where to look to find that information. I scoured, and this is before they had any type of AI. Why do that passport look greasy? I don't know. Maybe it was the lighting. Maybe it's the lighting. State of being. State of being. Mike dropped C. King Bay. AY said peace, brother. American National. Yeah, it's American National, but we got some other stuff that need to be included on that. There it is. I think I blew everything he said out the water. Not with my words, but with the words of the United States government. It's not me telling you, it's the United States government telling you. I'm just reading their stuff and showing you. And guess what? This is what I'm going to do. So y'all can study for yourself. I'm going to give you the links. I'm going to put the links in the chat. So y'all can get it for yourself. So you don't have to go scour and dig. That's that link. I keep this every time I do that. That's that link. I even give you the link to his thing. If y'all wanna troll. I'm not against trolling. Sometimes I troll. Sometimes. Not much. But when I'm saying become a U.S. national, I had to say something. I couldn't let that go. I could not. That was had me foaming at the mouth. Like, what? I'm gonna pay $99 for you to bring me back to where they want me to be in the first place? What? And I went in there with an open mind. Let me see what this brother talking about. Then he started saying, I was like, what? What are you saying? Yeah, I gave y'all the links. And there it is. So look out for those of you guys that are in my membership already. You will get an invite. So you'll skip the process of signing up, and you'll have access to most of the videos in there, except for the most current ones that I just did, like the counter deed. And the new ones that are coming out, they won't be put on that platform. Well, mostly what you're gonna have is a lot of my old work is gonna be there. Free templates for the certain things. So there's a lot of benefits for joining. Those of you who haven't joined. And right now I think it's $39.99 temporarily. It's going up because once I get all the big heavy, the discharge and recoupment stuff all up in there, y'all. In my latest IRS, because I'm doing an IRS webinar too. Once I put all that stuff in there, y'all, it's going up. All right. See, the time is right for this new one. It's so ripe. I mean, I had an Asian guy talking about who the original people are and how they brought people from other places and put them as the face of the Native Americans, and then put them on reservations and gave them gaming licenses. They immigrated those people from other places. I had a video guy was talking about it. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I could share it before I shut it down today. See videos that I bookmarked. Oh, this is a good one to check out. I'm gonna send this one to y'all.
You see that?
Hang on.
They know the truth. His
Hang
wife
on.
know he's in the presence of the descendant of.
Hang on. That's one of them. No, this is one I'm looking for specifically. This girl, she be on her stuff too. This young lady be hitting it. Give me a second. I'm just getting all the stuff together so y'all can see what I'm seeing. This young lady, she be on it. Got to give her props on that. This is a specific video I'm looking for.
Tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Just tell the fucking truth.
Hold
It
on.
might hurt people's feelings. It might.
I'm giving y'all some good ones. Hang on. Hang in there with me while I get this together.
Scary. It might not.
Why on earth anybody call a house the house of the Blackheads?
It did a whole big Men in Black, red light, flash, and erase your memory.
Let me make this make sense for the listening public.
Yeah. Let me see if this is. All right, we'll go with those. All right, let's share the screen. Let me pull it up. All right, this is a good one here. Check this one.
You see that? They know the truth. His wife know he's in the presence of the descendant of emperors. That's why he got the regalia medallion on his neck. Only emperors wear these things, or children of the emperors. I'm gonna show it to you. I don't make shit up. This is how your civil right went through because of him. Let me show you again if you get lost. You see that? That's his wife next to Eisenhower. Do you see Eisenhower got that chain on his neck? No. Eisenhower is a public servant. He's a president as a public servant under the crown of London. Because this guy was the one that passed over the royalty to Queen Elizabeth. He actually went to here in America in the behalf of the Queen because that was an exchange taking place. This was in 1950. Oh, you just don't know, don't you? I got receipt and you just have speculation. Let me educate you on that shit. You got speculation, I got receipts. Now, that's why he carried, like I said, the regalia medallion, meaning the descendant. You see what is on his chest? Let me show you. See what he wear? Let me show you what he wear. This is what I do.
And check the statues out.
Let me show you how far back this shit come from. Let me show you something better than I can tell you. Okay? You don't know who you messing with. This is what's on his neck. You see that? This is what he wear. These are the descendant of emperors and kings. Let me show you again. Okay? You see that? This is King Charles right there. He was pure blood. He carried a crown. And everybody that comes, that means that's his line. This is his line in the bottom. That's why they all have the necklace. See the necklace? That is the regalia medallion, meaning he's a part of the, what we call royal bloodline. Now let me bring it back for you. I know it hurts you, son. It hurts you because y'all just talking. Y'all ain't got shit to back up. And that's why y'all don't fucks with me, though. Because y'all know I'm not only obliterate y'all weak ass, but I got the receipt. I got receipt to oblivion. I'm going to get y'all ass out of here to oblivion. Let me bring it back. Okay?
All right. Now check this one out.
This is how you got here. You got here
This is
in
what
the
I'm talking
Imperium
about, how they
boat.
got here.
There's your people right. You see your people in the back? He said, what does this image prove? It proves where you came from. It proves you was not from here. It proves you just got here. It proves that what you claiming is actually given. It's not earning. God damn, it's bars. Shit, that's when you know it's the divine talking to me, man. I didn't know the divine was an MC like that, bruh. This is what it proves. This is what it proves. This is you. You see them cats with the hats? They are the ones federally approving you. Y'all work together. See how that works? I know you see how that works. This is how you got here, bro. And like I said, this is the Imperium boat. Y'all on the Imperium boat. Y'all on the Imperium boat right after the Empire fall, and y'all use the equipment to bring you up in here. See how that works? Talking about, oh, he was not, you was. Let me do a little zooming on your ancestors. You see your ancestors on the side?
These are the ones they claim to be the American.
Zoom baby said, wow, why should we believe you? Oh, I don't know.
Man.
I don't know what's going on the chat. I don't want to get involved, maybe. I'm not going to get involved, but man, look at here. This is how you got here, bruh. This is how you got
This
here.
is what Trump trying to shut down.
That's your people right here. It's okay. All of y'all come from immigration, Ellis Island. And like I said,
Facts.
y'all use the Empire boat system to got here. Okay? Y'all use the Empire boat to got here. Now let me show you the Imperial. Let me show you the Empire boat. I told you. Right after that, right after the Empire fall in 1912, get rid of the Imperium too.
Yeah, y'all gotta check him out. With the chat, so I know y'all on fire in that.
Insiders are telling media outlets the automaker could collapse.
Today,
What they said in the chat? Can you put the link for the counter deed? Counter deed? Oh, the counter deed video? Oh, yeah, I could put it in there. Oh. It's on my website, counter deed. Just go to Akimel.com. Dan Calloway is on it also. Yeah, but see, Dan Calloway was dealing strictly with us here in this and saying that we are the originals. But this cat is showing you the necklaces and what proved there was an empire here. History was rewritten, y'all. History was rewritten. I think I gave y'all a lot to chew on. All right. With that being said, I'm good. I think I did my job tonight. We will be back on the Unbound Soul tomorrow. You know, she was on vacation for a couple of weeks. She's back, so we'll be doing that tomorrow. All right. Peace, prosperity, extreme wealth, y'all. Y'all have a good night.